Hi, it's Mark Owen from Moose Marketing and PR, the editor of Punchline magazine. Welcome to Punchline Talks. Today I'm joined by Lindsey Holland. He's the owner of Cleeve Hill Hotel. Hello, Lindsey.
Hello.
You're also known as the kid that does stuff for TURF as well. We'll have to get to TURF in a second. But tell us about the hospitality sector at the moment. People have come back to the hotel. People have gone back to restaurants. People have gone back to eating out. What's it like for you people working in the hospitality sector?
Phenomenal to be open again. Can't complain. It's especially here at the hotel, it has felt like a museum for the past 7 months. So to have it living and breathe again is wonderful. But yes, with a few struggles, I think could be the way of saying things at the moment. There's it's certainly very different this year than it was last year.
And in what way is it different? How are the customers treating you guys?
The love's still there. The absolute enthusiasm to come back is there. But interestingly enough, I think everybody's become a little bit more complacent about COVID. So last year, there was a real feeling of trepidation away. People were really happy to be out, going away on holiday, staying in hotels, going into restaurants, but weren't quite sure how it worked, didn't know what to do. So there was a little bit more anxiety, I guess. This time round, everyone's a lot more relaxed, which whilst that makes the fun factor great, it also makes our roles a lot harder because we are trying as much as possible to stick to the legal requirements we have to, but it's a lot harder this time round.
Now, I believe that you haven't had the jab. A lot of the people that work within the hospitality sector are a lot younger, if you don't mind me saying. Therefore, they haven't had the jabs either. And the people that are coming out and spending the money in the pubs and the restaurants or staying with you and other places have had the jab. So therefore, there's a discrepancy really between the two.
There is, and I own the hotel. I do everything in the hotel myself. So for me, I've got to find a window to go and get the jab. I don't know if I'm going to have a reaction or not. I don't want to take the chance. So I'm stuck from that point of view. A lot of our team members are just too young to go and get one at the moment anyway. Those that have had 2 jabs and therefore feel immune just need to remember it doesn't mean they don't carry the virus. It means that they probably won't be as ill, but they're still going to be coronavirus spreaders. So they really need to remember to protect everybody else and most of the hospitality industry by following the guidelines.
Now, there's a big issue with the hospitality industry at the moment. We know there's a lack of chefs. We know there's a lack of waiters and bar staff. Is that filtering through? Are you wearing your TURF hat? How's it looking in Cheltenham and the hospitality sector as a whole in Gloucestershire?
Well, if I say that when we finished doing the very, very first auction, everybody within our TURF chat said, recruitment, we've got to start thinking about recruitment. How do we become smarter, better? What can we do? Because we are all stuck. And this Tuesday at our bi-weekly meeting, we are doing nothing but talking about recruitment. It probably sums it up. We're all stuck. We are all needing, and it's not because it's not for any other reason, but the fact that there just aren't people coming through.
Is it because they've all decided to do other things, or is it because they don't think they're safe enough, or is it because other companies are furloughed, or is it because of Brexit? Is it because the Eastern Europeans aren't around? What is it?
I think you've just named everything. I think it's a hardworking industry with multiple rewards, but if you can stand holding a sign in a COVID centre for practically double the amount of money that maybe a cafe can afford to pay, you're probably going to opt for holding a sign than being on your feet for 8 hours. And I totally get that, but we need to change hospitality in this country from being the thing that you do whilst you're studying to being the vocational career that it can be. And I think until the country shifts its mentality, people will expect hospitality to run on, well, I don't know, on thin air.
Well, that's the big problem, isn't it? Will people be willing to pay the extra price in order to pay the good staff? In the past, we've had a lot of restaurants do a lot of cheap food, a lot of cheap menus, buying the food cheaply and therefore paying their staff not very much and making the big profits. I'm talking about the sheds now. The upmarket independent retailers have always paid their staff a bit more, have always looked after their staff better. However, the marketplace has completely changed, and people want a little bit more out of life. As you know, you are talking to an ex-chef who knows for the fact that the hours are long. You can say the hours are long, but at least the pay's bad.
Yeah. Well, when I started in the industry, it was not abnormal for a chef to be in at 9 o'clock in the morning and to be going out at midnight, 1 a.m. And that was considered fine 5 days a week. And it wasn't until I got into doing the HR side of things, it wasn't until I started working for chef patrons who actually understood the importance of having a team, that you got proper split shifts, or you got 2 days off a week, that, you know, and better hours and all those things that started to come in. And now, because it's just getting so critical to keep the team happy, not saying that we don't, but I think you're right in terms of people have said, look, I've had some time off. I know what my family look like now. I appreciate actually what just, 5 8-hour shifts a week. I don't really want to do any more than that. I don't want to do 60 or 70-hour weeks. And so at that point, restaurants and kitchens likewise are having to look at rotas and go, okay, what do we do? I mean, I have a friend whose hotel has just decided they're not going to do food on Mondays and Tuesdays, so that they know they can give their whole food and beverage teams 2 days off. So the guests are now stuck.
Maybe that's it. Maybe that is the future of the hospitality sector. If people don't want to pay for it, maybe you guys don't open up and you charge them a little bit more when they do want to come in. I think that's the conversation for another day. Lindsey Holland, owner of Cleeve Hill Hotel, and the kid that does an awful lot for nice to see you again. Thanks for joining Punchline.